this is what I do appreciate is the Kat Von D podcast, right? Yeah. I loved her take with Ali Beth Stuckey when she sat down, and her humility in saying, I'm not jumping out the window and gonna be out here making Christian content, Christian nothing.
Yeah.
I love Jesus. I go to church. I've opened up. I've talked about it. I'm a baby Christian.
Yeah.
More or less, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When I sat down with Tyrese, which is about to come out, you saw us working on some of it.
Yeah.
He repeatedly said, guys, I'm going to fail you.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a divorce.
Yeah.
You know, the dude just lost his mom.
Yeah.
And he is proclaiming Jesus from the mountaintops, knowing that there's areas in his life that are incongruent from the way he speaks in terms of profanity to him not being in the Bible the way he knows he should be.
Yeah.
And he's sitting here repeatedly telling in the conversation, I'm going to fail you.
Yeah.
I don't know as much as I should. I'm not as mature as I should be. Don't place your faith in me. Place your faith in Jesus. But I'm going to proclaim Jesus from the mountaintops.
That's right.
You know, and so I almost approach, and I wonder if Kanye would have taken that same approach, and instead of trying to jump out and leverage his platform and kind of be, Sunday service and his whole thing, which I think there was fruit in that. I wonder had he just kind of fell back and just like, I'm not going to be try to be the poster child or be allowed to be made the poster child of Christianity.
Yeah.
Would this have played out different?
No, I've been thinking about this lately too, because we have a lot of people who are converting lately, even on YouTube. We have our friend Young Don, and Jadion, and even I was talking to Young Don too a few days ago, and we talked too about he's went through a lot of different theologies in public. You know what I mean? It's like, so some of us, like when we convert, we're still working out when we convert, we're still working out our faith. When we're baby Christians, we think we know everything.
Right.
But then in time, we start realizing how little we actually knew, and then we start just trying out different ideas and that sort of thing, And so to do that in public is always a lot messier. So I'm always wondering in my mind, I'm like, there's not a rush to actually turn your platform into you teaching.
Yes.
And I understand the desire because you're hungry and you just, you're on fire, you know what I mean, for Jesus. But I think in wisdom, I would, and this is my preference, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. There's probably a different angle to look at it, but I would just rather people to be a lot more cautious, because I take what I say very, very seriously. You know what I mean? And so and you know that I try to make sure all of my words and stuff are clear, because I am paranoid of making the world a worse place. You know what I mean? Probably to a fault, which is why I don't put out as much content as I probably could. But I also think that there has to be some degree of accountability that people have, where you have to realize too, you're speaking to thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands and probably millions of people, you know what I mean, leading them in a direction. And so a lot of the people, if we convert and we have wonky theology, and then you don't realize till later, you're like, okay, I was teaching everybody Jesus wasn't God, and salvation is completely by works or whatever, you know what I mean? Later, you might regret that, So I try to be cautious with what I say, but
yeah, that's true, man. And a great observation on your part. There is a lot of people coming to faith that you just wouldn't expect, and a lot of times it's just messy. Right? Whether it's Gideon, whether it's Dom, whether it's Tyrese, whether it's Kat Von D. I do appreciate the folks that are just going to set the bar lower and just be like, I ain't your Christian influencer. I ain't your pastor. I'm not a leader. I am a new convert. Be patient with me. Have grace on me.
Yeah. And I love their hearts. You know what I mean? So it's I'm not trying to take away from them or discourage them from talking about God and stuff like that, you know? But I mean, just kind of, it's hard to kind of tell a new Christian, because we've been there before, but you have to kind of get past it for you kind of see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know that God is working through, you know what I mean, through them in all of these different ways and stuff too. But it's a tough thing what we do, you know what I mean? It's we've done a lot of years of studying and thinking about a lot of this stuff. So.
Man, I'm so glad that there wasn't a YouTube when I first came to faith.
Oh yeah,
because my dumb butt would have been on here. You know what I mean? I would have been the goofy TikTok guy that just got saved. You know what I mean? I would have been that kid at 18, 19 years old. And so I'm so glad that there wasn't. And even with the degree of influence I did have just at my high school and being outspoken and then falling publicly and then it's hard, man. It's tough. And so
look, sometimes people struggle with quiet time because you're like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, so I got this Bless God prayer journal. So look, they got a section. I got praise reports, things I'm grateful for, prayers for other people, personal prayers, memory verse. I will get this done today. Then my time in the Word showed me. and notes just for free thinking. This thing's mad helpful. Just writing down things that you're grateful for, just doing that consistently, that's another really good way to fight depression and anxiety, because it's I don't know if it's impossible, but it's really difficult to experience the feelings of depression and everything and truly be, you know, genuinely grateful for something and dwelling on something that you're grateful for. This actually is really helpful for that as well.
We see according to the Bible that prayer is extremely important in terms of us being transformed from the inside out when we get aligned with God's will. For the Christians watching this channel, I want you guys to implement these spiritual disciplines in your day-to-day life. And the only way I've been able to do this consistently is through writing down my prayers in a prayer journal that does a few things. One, it allows me to reflect and come to God humbly and ask Him to move on my behalf. And two, it allows me to document my prayers, which ultimately help me remember the very things that I was praying for and see the hand of God tangibly in my life when He answers them. So I would urge you, consider writing down your prayers. It could be in a blank notebook. It could even be on your phone. Or you could check out the one I personally designed and used for my own quiet time and spiritual discipline that I think will be a huge blessing. It's the exact structure and system that I've used for years to pray and be more consistent in my spiritual disciplines. You can pick yours up today by clicking the link in the pinned comment below. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.